Hey everyone, and welcome to another Python lesson where today we're going to be finishing a part 2 series of a number guessing game. The first part was where we guess the computer's secret number. Now we're going to be selecting our own number and directing the computer whether our number, their guess, is higher or lower. So let's get right into it. So for starters, we're going to import random, and this will allow the computer to randomly select a number from the maximum and minimum range. Speaking of that, we're going to create variables for the maximum and minimum to allow us to have a range for this guessing game. So for our sake, we're going to do a minimum of 0 and a maximum of 100. And after that, I'm just going to print an F string, a formatted string, just prompting the user that we're going to ask them to think of a number ranging from 0 to 100. Now, let's select some of the computer lives and guess counter. So computer lives, let's give them an option for the computer to guess the number 10 times. And we're going to start at 0 for guess counter. And I'll show you guys what this means in this here shortly. So we're going to do a while loop, and it's only going to run when it's true. So while the guess counter is less than computer lives, so basically while 0 is less than 10, which is true, we're going to run this program. So let's create a new variable, and it's going to be called computer guess, or short comp guess. And it's going to be the randomly selected number. So we're going to do random.randint, minimum to maximum being the range. So it's going to randomly select a number from 0 to 100, and we're going to print that in the format string. So I'm going to do computer guess and print out comp guess. So that's going to just tell us what the computer guess is, and then we're going to direct the computer to see whether it's too high or too low. So I'm going to create a variable called guidance, and that's going to be our input, where we input L for being the number or computer guess being too low, H being too high, and C for being the correct number that we were thinking of. And I'm going to finish the guidance with a dot lower, just so whether you enter it as a capital L or lowercase l, etc., it's still going to run as intended. So now we're going to do an if statement. So if the guidance is equal to L, so if our input is L, as in the too low, we're going to first change the minimum number. So say our secret number is 15 and the computer guess is 10. We don't want the range to be 0 to 100, we want it to be from 10 to 100 now. We're also going to increment the guess counter by 1. And kind of the same scenario for whether the guess is too high. If the computer guess is 70, we don't want the computer, and it's too high, we don't want the computer to continue guessing numbers above 70. We want the limit to be 70 minus 1. So we want to consider numbers like 69 or lower. If the guidance is correct, we're going to just print out a simple statement saying, kind of just congratulating the computer and notifying you that the computer guessed the number correctly. That is only going to happen if it guesses the number correctly in the number of lives, which is in this scenario 10. And you can change that if you wish. And then we're going to break out of that loop. And lastly, for the else statement, I'm just going to print invalid entry, and that's considering if you input something other than L, H, or C. So now lastly, this if statement I have is going to be called guess counter equaling computer lives. So in short, if the computer runs out of guesses, this if statement will run. And I'm just going to print out a little message saying computer ran out of lives, and basically you won since they weren't able to guess your number. You can take this a step further if you like and allow the computer to guess a number not randomly within the range. So if it's randomly selecting a number from 0 to 100, most people tend to wouldn't select 1 and then 3, for example. It is a possibility for the computer to do that. So obviously it's not narrowing down its options as frequently and as effectively as possible. So that's one extra step you can take if you wish. But I think this is a good start to getting a number guessing game down for the computer guessing the number the user is thinking of. So here I have a few scenarios running the program, just showing you how it works, whether the computer were to be correct or whether they are incorrect and run out of lives. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little introduction video and walkthrough on how to create the number guessing games, part 1 and part 2. And I'll be uploading more videos here shortly. And make sure to like and subscribe for more content.